What's going on, guys? In this week's video, Sean and I are going to make this entire wall up here cabinets. And I've had a couple of you guys in the Tuesday night live stream asking me how we make our cabinets. I'm going to show you guys how to take a square or a rectangle and get this whole process started so that you can get to this point. We're going to do that. All right, guys, so the first step that we need to do is start making a rough pattern. So I cut a piece of birch, and this is 16 by 16 because I am not 100% sure what size I want to make these cabinets. It's not going to be deeper or taller than 16 by 16. So we're going to take this and we're going to start here and work our way up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, I know that my last cabinet ends right here. So I'm going to start with this side, and I'm going to try to start chipping away at this until I get it close enough that I can scribe it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is this back has a pretty good angle on it. So I'm going to take this angle completely off. I'm going to take that off and then I'll be back. All right, so you can see my board is a little bit closer to the wall now. So I'm going to change that angle a little bit, come across here, and take that little notch off now. Okay, so now you can kind of see, I'm happy with this angle. You can kind of see that that's nice. So now we're going to try to get this closer to the wall. And because this is a straight edge, I can take my pencil and find this gap right here and just kind of go up the wall with it. And because I started at my biggest gap, once I cut this, I should be pretty close. I'm going to change it. I should be pretty close right there. So let's cut that and move forward. All right, now we're getting that. Oh, that was pretty close. You gotta love that one. Okay, so now we're going to try to get this angle a little closer, and we're gonna just scribe across this. And I'm gonna go ahead and come down with that as well, because if I have this too narrow, then it's not going to come across and meet up here. So we're going to do that. And I scribe that with my finger and the pencil. You can use a compass if you have it. I just have found that just because I've done it over and over and over again, it's just easier with my hand. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Okay, so let's do that one more time here. All right, we're going to do that one more time. So, oh man, that ceiling is what's giving me the biggest fit. But I feel like if I get this closer, that almost looks like it's, I feel like if I get that closer, it's going to bring that up. I think I'm actually okay with this. I mean, it's tight.
That's fine.
Yeah, I feel like that's fine. That's pretty close all the way around. And then that'll just really sink in. Let's go ahead and plumb this line and get it the depth that we want it so I'm not wasting birch.
That's good.
All right, let's do it. And I want you to, yeah, kind of come on this side, if you don't mind. I'll tell you what, I could even hold on. All right. And then let's arch your elbow just a little bit. Awesome. That should work.
I really like that countertop. That is a cool countertop.
I'm gonna show you something over here that I probably haven't shown you before. So, if we know that this is a plumb line, and we want our cabinet, the rest of our cabinets are what, 12 inches?
Mm-hmm.
So say we want this one 10 inches because we want some, we can take this to 10 on the outside here. We can take that to 10, line it up there. That's a straight line. And then this is 13 3/4. That's deeper than our other ones, so we know we don't want it. We don't want it deeper. So we can now move this over to the way we want it. So in order to keep that line straight, I'm going to do this. I am going to
just mark that line.
Mark my line, so I know that's a 90. And what I'm going to do is move this out. And so we could even do 10, by 10 if we wanted. Those are 12. Let's do 10.5. Let's just make it an inch, because I want her to have, like, this would be like in the bathroom area, and I want her to at least have like pantry room or whatever. So this is 10. This is 10.5. And if I do that, then we know that this is square. So, and when you look at this, does that look like a big enough cabinet? Two of them 26 inches. We're going to be okay with that. We'll have a bottom on it here.
Does
a
look
face
a
on
little
it
small.
here. It looks a little small.
Yeah. What if you went
Especially,
like that?
yeah. Well, we want it shallower than this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I'm upside down.
What?
I'm orientated wrong.
So I feel like we could come down a little bit to there. And that would be, matter of fact, we could do 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches, and then it would maybe give it a little bit of symmetrical. So if we come down 1.5 inches and we come, this would be, that would be like right there. I think that's 1.5 inches-ish. Grab a tape measure, will you? Kind of measure that. A little bit more.
Right there.
Right there is 1.5 inches. So if we do that, And then that's an inch and a half. I feel like that, you know, gives her a little bit more. And it also gives us that, yeah, I'm okay. I'm better with that. Oh, that's literally the same. We just dropped that down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. So that's better, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. All right, we got this the way we wanted it. So now we're going to transcribe this onto here. I also want to pay attention to the grain of the wood and any like aesthetics in the wood that I like or don't like. I kind of like a little bit of this darker in with that. So I'm going to put it right here when I trace my pattern. And now I can take this into the van and I can tweak this to make it match what I want. All right, so now we know this is the size cabinet we want. We know this works here. Now I transcribe that onto that 3/4. So now we're gonna come about 26 inches over because this is gonna be a pretty long cabinet. So I'm gonna come 26 inches over and I am going to trace this and make it work for this side. So I better measure and mark this because I don't want to bring it in here and put it in a different spot each time, or it's gonna be different. All right, so we've got one here. We're gonna come 26 and a half. Yeah, I was way off. So we're gonna come right here. Now, I know it's gonna be here. Oh, yeah, I knew something was. Actually, this is a little better. So, this is perfect. But I want to take as little off of here as possible. So I'm gonna take this little notch right here. And I think that's gonna get us a lot closer. You can see it's hitting. And it's just the angle of this wall. So I'm going to take that off. I think we're going to be closer. Oh, yeah. That literally is what we needed. And now we've got just a little hair more here. A little hair here. I'm going to take that off. That worked out great. And that's what I'm saying. Once you get your first pattern, it was a lot to make this first pattern. But once you get that first pattern, you're literally just tweaking it from here on out. And honestly, if I took this to the other side of the van, it's probably not far off this wall. See, that's not far off. A little bit of tweaking and I can have that side done as well. She's gonna have a microwave cabinet here and this could be a working pattern for that as well. So I'm gonna tweak this a little bit more and I think we're good on this. Oh yeah, yep, that'll be fine. That will be fine. I'm gonna actually. Don't tell Lenny I wrote on her ceiling. Don't tell Lenny. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. So now I'm going to transcribe this onto a 3/4 inch piece and then use this to come all the way down here. It's going to go right here and you can see a little bit of tweaking and this is going to be okay. All right, so before we get this stuff too mixed up, this hasn't been cut yet, but I want to mark it. So we're gonna mark it middle, and we're gonna give it 1 dot. So this is the middle, the first one, and then we're gonna mark this one, want that green going the same way. And it looks like this. And we're going to put this right here. And trace this. Oh, Maddie, good lordy be. Trace this. We're going to write on this so we don't get it mixed up. This is number 2. So 1, 2, middle, and we will cut that. That'll be the second one. All right, we got something special that's going to go right here. So I actually need one for right here as well. And oh my goodness, nice. So I will just make 2 of this pattern, and we'll have a cabinet here and we're going to have a cabinet here. So we'll duplicate this onto another 3/4, and then we'll be able to cut it for over here. That's not bad. I'll tell you what, we have kind of lucked out with this one. Alright guys, so I got all 4 of these cut, and before I Craig them, I'm just going to double check them. And once I double check them, I'm going to take them out to the table. I'm going to Craig these. I'll show you how I Craig them, and then we're going to get them polyurethane, and we will be putting these up today. So this is this is middle, number 4, so it goes all the way down here. And that looks nice. Eat your heart out, Sean. Number 3 is going to go here. And that's gonna work. That is gonna work. And then number 2 is gonna go right here. And that is gonna work. And then number 4, and Sean's waiting on me, and that's gonna work. That's gonna work. So I'm gonna Craig. So there's 2 for one cabinet, 2 for another cabinet, and I'm gonna Craig the inside. I don't know. It's happened to us. It could happen to you. So this is gonna go here. We want to Craig this side of this piece of wood, and I'll show you how we do that. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is the cabinet. I'll sand all this off. But, so this one will screw to the ceiling. This one will screw to the angle in the ceiling. These will screw into the wall. So this will be securely fastened. And these will hold this frame on for the doors. And I do that because I don't like brad nailing my select pine into these. I like having no nails out here if I can. So this will hold that frame on. And this is the bottom. I do tack the bottom on, but this is how we do it. We have never had a cabinet come loose. I don't fill these because I will polyurethane them, but I don't plug them because we sand them. They're inside the cabinet. It's a lot of extra labor, a lot. But if you want to put your cabinet all together and plug them and then sand them and poly them, you do that. For labor purposes, this is how we do it. Save yourself and your paintbrush and your roller, whatever you're using, and sand all the little edges, sand this nice and smooth ahead of painting or staining so that all these little fibers don't get in your can of paint. Trust us, we know. All right, we almost forgot to record this, but we got those polyurethaned, and now we want this cabinet 26 inches. So we are attaching our spacers so that we know that this cabinet and this cabinet are both 26 inches, and these are the exact same to the millimeter. You know, the problem is with that. Okay, so this is, all right, let's come
Marine
back.
is the one on the top, so I don't know.
Yep, that's fine. Oh, I guess we do. Do we have an extra spacer here? Let's put this extra one in here so that we don't collapse that. Okay. Got it. I like that. Perfect.
Oh, it didn't even. This in.
Yeah.
Was it spinning?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not. I'm just not. I'm not. This is in my way, so I don't have a good angle.
Oh, gotcha.
So. It's all over my hands. Dang it. There we go. let's look. I don't feel like it really, I don't feel like it really created any issues last time. All right, let's do this. Let's put some marine adhesive on that back one. Probably no strip over here. That turned out nice. That gloss is nice.
Mm-hmm. That okay right there?
Yeah. Move it a little bit. We didn't marine adhesive these front ones because sometimes we take these out depending on how that cabinet frame goes on. She's going to have some puck lights in this cabinet, so hoping that I'll get to keep this. So. Awesome.
Do the bottom one first?
Yeah, I can. I already got the clamp on there. You can just hold that.
Gonna try. Right there-ish.
Right, so Sean is going to cut the bottoms for these, and I use 1/2-inch birch. And what we do is we don't want a gap by the wall, so we set our cabinet up on our table saw, find that angle, and then that 1/2-inch bottom, we're going to put that same angle on the back. And like I told Sean, like on this ProMaster, the Transit, I think, is square. The ProMaster is always like a 5 or a 6 around there. Between 5 and 7 is what you're probably going to find on that angle. But you can see we've got that angled, and he's going to cut that bottom real quick. How's that looking?
Good.
Okay, and what we'll do is I'm going to screw in the bottom,
Okay.
and then you, oh, nice, Jonnie. I need to get my other. Okay, and then we'll square that. Oh, it actually needs to go back a little bit, yeah. Yay, finally bloopers on camera. Sean's like, don't you put that in there.
That's okay.
He's like, that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay.
Nice.
Now let's see. Let's put that square on your side. I got it over here, and see how. Let's square that.
Right there.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. Put your hand on the outside of that so I don't push it over.
Yep.
Okay. put enough Krigs in a couple of these because because they're wider.
Oh, right. I feel like you put just as many, if not less than what I put in the other ones. I like these shallow cabinets. I think these are going to be nice.
Yeah, I think so too. Got it?
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll work without that angle. Don't be looking at my things. I know they're not as good as yours. You're more of an overachiever than I am. No, I'm kidding. We need my little red one, I think, after this.
Right here.
Yep. Oh, this one's going to be real close on that. Okay. All right.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be a nice little shelf for her.
Oh, that's going to be perfect for the, you know what?
Uh-huh.
For Lenny's, you know what? And then we'll put one right. We'll put this cabinet attached to this one. Nice. Nice. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm going to put that bottom back. One in first, yep. It should be because we, that top is that right? Oh, nice. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's tough to make it square, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to push this all the way. Right? Yep. Okay. And then when we do that, when we do that top one, it'll be just like this. It looks like, I can screw it to this cabinet first. That's what, let me get it tied up in the story first. Got it? It's like, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Nice. I love that word. I love that word. Who made these cabinets? Is that perfect? Yeah, I think it's super good. Push that top all the way back and got it? Yes.
All right, so you can see we got the bottoms put on and we put a puck light in there. So we're wiring these now before we put these frames on. And this little space here, this makes a perfect spacer, makes a perfect space for this puck light so that none of these wires rub. And then that will be the bottom of this cabinet. And then I will trim that out. So Sean is getting that one going. We're going to get the frames on these and then we will make some doors.